The jungle of Arunyal is a place no map dares to mark. It breathes, it remembers, it watches. People say that beyond its emerald walls lie ruins from a time before language. When beasts and gods shared the same heart, I went there seeking a legend and found one that nearly devoured me. I was an explorer then, arrogant, hungry for discovery, blind to reverence. Old villagers warned me, never cross the river when the moon bleeds red. That was when the veil between man and beast thinned. I laughed it off. But that night, the moon rose crimson, and I crossed anyway. The jungle changed after that. The air thickened, each breath heavy with warmth and perfume. Trees leaned inward, their roots pulsing faintly as if listening. I felt eyes on me, not the usual predators, but eyes that understood thought. And then I saw them. Figures moving between the mist. Swift, silent, golden. At first I thought they were tigers walking upright. But when one stepped into the torchlight, my breath caught. She had the face of a woman, fierce and beautiful, but her skin shimmered with faint stripes, her pupils long and vertical like a cat's. Her breath came out as a purr. Her claws shone beneath the moonlight. The others emerged behind her, circling me like spirits of the hunt. They didn't attack. They watched until one of them, taller, older, approached. Her eyes glowed amber, and her mane of black hair rippled like a shadow alive. Around her neck hung a tooth, large, curved, unmistakably human. The moment she touched my chest, I felt something shift in the air. Recognition, almost pity. They took me that night. Blow darts hissed. Darkness fell. When I awoke, I was lying on a bed of moss deep inside a glowing cavern. The walls shimmered faintly with a blue bioluminescent fungus, and the air smelled of wild honey and iron. They stood around me, silent, statuesque, painted with ash and blood. Each one had a scar along the spine, a mark of devotion. At the center stood their leader, the Tiger Queen. She was neither human nor beast. She was balance itself. Her presence filled the air like thunder waiting to strike. She studied me with slow, measured grace, her tail swaying behind her, her fangs glinting beneath full lips. When she spoke, her voice wasn't sound. It was vibration, deep and old. Entering through my bones, I understood without words. You are the last outsider this jungle will ever see. For days, or maybe weeks, I stayed among them. They lived in a perfect rhythm with the earth. They hunted only when the jungle allowed. They slept by rivers that glowed at night. Every movement was ritual, every breath a prayer. I watched them train, their bodies agile and deadly, their claws slicing through air like blades of wind. Their cubs played among roots as big as temples, their laughter echoing like the jungle's heartbeat. But I noticed something strange. Their numbers were few, the cubs were fewer. Their queen grew weaker each dusk, her eyes dimming, her stripes fading. The tribe was dying, and something darker, was closing in. One night I followed them beyond the boundary of their sacred ground, to the edge of a burned forest. There I saw men, poachers, mercenaries, pale-skinned strangers with torches and steel. They were setting traps of silver and iron, humming low-tech sensors that pierced the silence. They didn't know what they hunted, only that the hides of tiger women were priceless. I realized then why I had been spared. The tribe didn't need a prisoner. They needed a witness. When I returned, the queen was waiting for me. Her eyes burned brighter than fire. She touched my forehead and visions flooded my mind. Jungles from millennia ago, when her kind ruled alongside humans, but greed had divided the balance. Now only her tribe remained. And she whispered into my thoughts, if you wish to leave, go. But if you stay, you must protect what remains of us. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. That night I stood beside them as the jungle trembled with invasion. The poachers came like ghosts of iron and greed, rifles gleaming, boots crushing the sacred soil. But the tiger women were ready. Their eyes glowed in the dark. Dozens of molten suns weaving between the trees. The first man screamed before his torch hit the ground. The second never saw what claw took him. The forest became a blur of motion, roars, and human terror. I fought too, not with claws, but with instinct. The venom of their rhythm had entered me. Every sound, every shadow told me where to strike. By dawn, the forest was silent again. Smoke drifted from dying torches. Blood mingled with dew. The queen stood over the ashes, her breath heavy, her gaze fixed on the horizon. Half her warriors were gone. The tribe had won, but at a cost too deep for celebration. She turned to me, eyes full of grief and pride, and pressed the human tooth from her necklace into my palm. The symbol of her lineage, her trust, her farewell. When the sun rose, her body turned to dust. The jungle sighed, and I understood. Her spirit had merged with the land. The last of her kind now lived through me. Years have passed. No one dares to enter Orignal anymore. The jungle grows thicker, wilder, more alive. At night, when the moon turns gold, I hear them. Roars that sound like voices, whispers that sound like heartbeats. Sometimes I see her reflection in the river. The queen, watching with eyes that still burn like amber. I am no longer the explorer who entered this forest for fame. I am its guardian, the last witness to the tiger women's flame. Their strength lives in my blood. Their spirits sleep beneath my skin.